1. Who proposed the cell theory? A. Robert Brown. B. Robert Hooke. C. Rudolf Virchow. D. Matthias Schleiden. D. Matthias Schleiden proposed the cell theory in 1838, which was later modified by Theodor Schwann in 1839.
2. Which of the following is A. part of the cell theory? A. Cells are capable of metabolism and replication. B. All living organisms are composed of cells.
Explanation. The correct answer is B. All living organisms are composed of cells. This statement is one of the three fundamental principles of the cell theory. The other two principles are that cells are the basic unit of life, and that all cells arise from pre-existing cells.
3. In which year did Matthias Schleiden observe different types of cell in various plant tissue?
1805. B. 1855. C. 1838. D. 1905. Answer C. 1838.
Explanation. In the year 1838, the German botanist, Matthias Schleiden, observed the different types of cells present in the plant tissue of various plants.
Theodor Schwann was A. British zoologist. B. German zoologist. C. British botanist. D. German botanist. Answer A. British zoologist. Explanation. Theodor Schwann was A. British zoologist. He studied various types of cells. Which scientist proposed the idea that all animals are made up of cells? A. Robert Hooke. B. Antony van Leeuwenhoek. C. Matthias Schleiden. D. Theodor Schwann. Answer D. Theodor Schwann, German physiologist, was the first to propose that all animals are made up of cells in 1839. 6. What is the cell theory? A. All living things are made up of cells. B. Cells are the basic unit of life. C. New cells arise only from pre-existing cells. D. All of the above. Answer D. All of the above. Explanation. The cell theory states that all living things are made up of cells, that cells are the basic unit of life, and that new cells arise only from pre-existing cells. 7. What is the role of the cell membrane? A. To protect the cell from its environment. B. To control the movement of substances in and out of the cell. C. To provide structural support to the cell. D. To produce energy for the cell. Explanation. The cell membrane is a selectively permeable boundary that allows certain substances to pass into and out of the cell while keeping other substances out. It also helps to maintain the shape and integrity of the cell. What are the three main components of the cell theory?
Answer. The three main components cell theory are: all living organisms are composed of one or more cells. The cell is the basic unit of life. Cells arise from pre-existing cells. Explanation. The cell theory has three main components that describe the properties of cells and their role in living organisms. The first component states that all living organisms are made up of one or more cells. The second component states that the cell is the basic unit of life, and all the functions of living organisms are carried out by cells. The third component states that cells arise from pre-existing cells through a process called cell division.
Who discovered bacteria?
Answer: Antony van Leeuwenhoek discovered bacteria. Explanation: Antony van Leeuwenhoek was a Dutch scientist who is best known for his work in microscopy. He was the first person to observe and describe bacteria in 1676. He used a simple microscope that he designed himself. He observed different kinds of bacteria in various environments, including water, soil, and the human mouth.
Who discovered the nucleus?
Answer: Robert Brown discovered the nucleus. Explanation: Robert Brown was a Scottish botanist who studied plant cells. He observed that all plant cells had a small, dark spot in the center, which he named the nucleus. He described the nucleus as a distinct structure that could be seen under the microscope.
Who discovered cells?
Answer: Robert Hooke discovered cells. Explanation: Robert Hooke was an English scientist who studied many different fields, including biology. In 1665, he used a compound microscope to observe a thin slice of cork. He observed tiny empty compartments that he called cells because they reminded him of the small rooms in a monastery. Hooke's discovery of cells was an important milestone in the development of the cell theory.
Who is credited with developing the cell theory?
Answer: The cell theory was developed by Matthias Schleiden, Theodor Schwann, and Rudolf Virchow. Explanation: The cell theory was proposed in the mid-19th century by Matthias Schleiden, Theodor Schwann, and Rudolf Virchow. Schleiden was a botanist who studied plant cells. Schwann was a zoologist who studied animal cells. Together, they proposed that all living organisms were made up of one or more cells.